We are back. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday yesterday for Thanksgiving and are ready for some more action here in the markets today. So we didn't get our $100,000 on Bitcoin over the course of the holiday. That's a little bit sad, but we did get some interesting movements here. If you remember what I was talking about my last video, that this here was a nice morning star pattern, and look what it has produced. It has produced some bullish movement. We went as high as 98,800 today. Currently we're hanging out at 98,000. Now if we don't take out this previous high here and tap $100,000, which, well, I guess we don't need to necessarily hit $100,000. It's still almost $200 away from that, or $161 away from that. So we have that much play in there. If, however, we come up and curl back over, this is starting to look dangerously like a double top, and the neckline being right here at $90,800. All right. So if that were to happen, it would look a lot like this blue pattern here, which is the 2017 cycle, the 2017 cycle. We could look something like this pattern here, where if this were a double top, we would not likely find support until we came down to about that $72,000 range. That could be our 30% dip before a rip. Now, that'd be pretty scary, and I would shake some people out. I'd consider that all part of the plan. I would remain calm. It's all part of the plan. Anyways, yeah. Could dip all the way to $70,000-ish, somewhere between $70,000 and $72,000 if this ends up being a double top, if we don't go up and conquer $100,000 in a hurry. And then, but if you watch, in that cycle, they did that dip, that 30% dip, and then went up higher, gave us another 25-30% or so, and then went even higher. So I wouldn't take that as something to be scared of. Was that another? Yeah, about 26%. And this one would be about 30-ish%. 28%. So in the 2017 cycle, you got dips, pretty significant dips along the way as we drove higher and higher. So I wouldn't be too concerned if we were to see that. Just be aware that we're looking at a potential double top here if this thing curls over on Bitcoin. So if this doesn't go up and go a lot higher and just come back, use 98,000 as a support and then go higher from there, then we could see this end up being a double top. And that's if it gets under that 90,872 level. Let's go ahead and draw a line there. That's going to be a scary line. We're going to make that one a red. Lock it down. So underneath that, yeah, we're going to have a rough time with that on the way down if that were to happen. Let me get rid of this yellow one. I don't think that's important anymore. Yes, remove that one. Okay, yeah. We might find some support at 80. Potentially 80, especially since institutions are much more involved now than they were before. So we could come down, get a 20% dip on the money, and then bounce up from there. That would be something institutions would likely do to us versus giving us that full move down. So don't be surprised if you see that, or just Michael Saylor comes in and buys, a couple more billion worth of Bitcoin at $80,000. That's also something to be aware of. So you might not get that pullback all the way to 70. That would be the full pattern, but we've got institutions in here. We got Michael Saylor's running around. We got SMLR's running around now. We got Metaplanet's running around now. We got Mara looking to buy up anything that dips on Bitcoin now with their senior notes. So we might not get that full dip. It might only go to like 80 and then go back on its merry way up as these big institutions buy it up, going that direction. Station break. Go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you've been with us a while and haven't done so yet. Both of those things help our growing channel so much. You can't imagine how much it helps, and it just takes a second. Also, check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. We've got some excellent products on here, some awesome shirts and hoodies. Do not sleep on the sticker shop. That's a Redbubble link in the description, as well as the channel bio there. We've got some nice affordable stickers that have some excellent art from our t-shirts and hoodies as well. Let's get back into the action. Okay, let's take a look at the miners today. So Mara had a big day. I made a nice chunk of change on Mara here this morning. In the last couple of weeks, I made a little over $2,000 on Mara, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. It tapped 30 bucks. I sold the calls that I had bought a couple of days ago. I bought on this little dip right here, sold up here. That was a quick almost 400 bucks. That was really great. Yeah, that's all. So let me get rid of that. So we're hitting that $30 mark. That's exactly where I was expecting it to go. Now, whoops, I actually want that, I think. Now we conquer that $30 mark. I'm looking at 30, 32, 33 to come to the top of that channel, potentially even go higher than the top of that channel. So basically every time there's a dip on Mara, I've been buying. So every time I see a dip followed by any kind of bullish pattern, or honestly, anytime it hits the 5-day moving average right now, I've been going long on Mara, and that's been working out really well. I've made a little over $2,000 in a couple of weeks on Mara, so that's been pretty exciting on Mara. So I'm looking for that next pullback to the 5-day moving average, which by the time it gets there, probably be about 27.32. I'm looking for that, and once it gets to there, if I see any kind of bullishness at all, I'm going to buy some more Mara calls for $30. I'm going to probably ride them up to about 32, 33, and then I'll sell them again. So I've been just churning Mara, making money off of Mara doing that. Clean Spark up 7% today. You can see the warrants are only up 3% now. They are slowing down. But the thing with the warrants is you'll notice that sometimes they will react more slowly than the underlying asset. Like sometimes they'll go really, really fast, and other times they'll take a day or two after the underlying asset moves up before you see them move up as well. So we're getting into that slower period for Clean Spark warrants. At some point, I might say that I think it's a buy over $1. Right now, I'm still not saying that, especially if that Bitcoin move I was talking about comes through, in which case we would see Clean Spark probably drop 15, 20, 30% as well, maybe more, and the warrants even more. So I wouldn't say it's a buy over $1 quite yet. I want to see what Bitcoin's going to do. If Bitcoin's going to conquer $100,000, this is likely a buy over $1. If it fails at $100,000 again, it comes down to the 80s. Well, then this is going to go under $1 again, and that's my opinion. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. We can see Clean Spark knocking on the door of $15 here today. We got the fib out there. Let me turn some stuff off. This is so much. All right, we got the fibs drawn on here. We are going to close the day, if we stay where we are now, above the 382, which actually opens us up to $18. $18 is a very magical number right now, because that is the dollar value that Clean Spark has reserved the right to make these warrants executable. And if that happens, you're going to see these things go way up in value if it goes over $18. So if we start getting close to $18, then I'd probably say, yeah, it might be a buy over $1, because it's going to go a lot higher when Clean Spark is trading over $18 for a couple of days. So keep that in mind. Bit Digital is up almost 10% again today. Well, last time it was up 18%. Now it's up 10 right now. We're getting to the very top of this megaphone. Look at how technicals play out. This is beautiful. So it came up to the top of my megaphone, kind of rejected there. If I were churning Bit Digital like I were some of these other miners, I probably would sell here, wait for it to come back down to the 5, buy that back up, and ride that up to the above the megaphone afterwards. But I'm not. I'm just holding my Bit Digital. Now, full disclosure. I have been selling some of my miners into this strength. Now, I have a lot of them, and I'm up big. I'm up over almost 100% on like every single thing I've got right now. Okay. Now, there's a reason I've been selling a bit now. I'm trimming. I'm not selling it in big chunks. I'm selling like 50, 100 shares at a time here. Okay. Why am I doing that? I've been doing that so I can collect a little more money so I can get more Clean Spark warrants when it comes down. Now, I've sold a little more of my Clean Spark position than any of my other positions, simply because I want to roll that into Clean Spark warrants. All right. Not because I don't believe in any of these companies anymore. Not because I don't think that they are going to go higher. None of that. In fact, I was selling last trading day, which was Wednesday, and I missed out on the move today, which is a little bit upsetting, but that's okay, because I need to have a little bit more cash, because I would like to build out my Clean Spark warrant position just a little bit more, and I need some money for that, so that I can continue to do some of my options selling strategies in addition to this. So I sold like 200-300 Bit Digital shares. I sold about 150 Clean Spark, and I sold about 200 IREN shares yesterday when it was up 30%. That one, honestly, I kind of expected IREN to give us a little bit of a pullback today, because usually when it does a 30% pop or something like that of that large of a move, IREN will pull back. It didn't this time, which is interesting. So I was actually kind of expecting to buy a little more IREN too, but it's okay. We miss the boat sometimes. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. I still have hundreds of shares of IREN. So that's what I've been doing. I've been selling a little bit in order to build out a cash position to buy more CleanSpark warrants. And then I sold a little bit more IREN because I said, well, 30% up, it's probably going to do a pullback because it's generally done one in the past. And instead we get stellar performance today as well. So now I'm going to need to see at least like a move down to $12 before I'm going to be able to recover any of that. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. Anyways, Bit Digital hit the top of the megaphone. I would expect this thing to continue to drive higher. Honestly, look at this. It's just gap up. This could be a gap up and go kind of scenario right here. It's beautiful. I love it. It might come back down to the 5 at 442, but then, I think it's got a date with the upper ATR band here up in the 5s. And ultimately, by the time Santa Claus has come and visited us all, I'm expecting it to be trading somewhere in the 6s. And that is likely where I'll be dropping off the majority of my Bit Digital until we see a dip into, let's say, March or April, somewhere around that time. I'm expecting a dip to come again, so I'll be out of the majority of my position until like I see a nice significant dip after it gets to that $6 range. Okay, so it's going up to the 6. I'm going to sell most of it, and then when it comes back down into like the 4s, I'll be buying more. Okay, let's take a look at IREN. IREN's at the top of the ATR band. See that move? That was 29%. I sold a couple hundred shares on that. I'm expecting it to come back down to maybe the 5, which would be 1171. That'd be okay. I'd reload some shares there personally. At the 1171, which would be how much of a dip? That would be a 14%. Yeah, that's fine. That's solid. 14% dip. And then I'd be looking for some sort of bullish pattern and then boom, go up again. We could come back down to the 21. That's also possible. But by the time we get there, probably be closer to like $11. Right now, everything's really strong right now. I'm not selling anything today. I'm just holding today. But it's interesting. CIFR's up a whole bunch. So its warrants. Look at that, 247. This is why I want more CleanSpark warrants, because CIFR warrants, they were trading, down in the 65 cents here just in September, and now they're at $2.47. Last year they were down as low as 32 cents. So yeah, pretty great. I mean, in 2022 they went as low as 5 cents. Yeah, 2022 they went as low as 3 cents. Now they're at 2.45. Like, that is so much gain. That's why I like the warrants, by the way. Soluna's finally doing something. It's up 9.91%. We're trying to get out of this box. All right. Ooh, actually, this is very interesting. If you're in Soluna, this is my lotto play. This is my little lotto play for the miners. I've just got like 100 shares of this thing. Just a lotto, small size for those lotto plays. Small, very little. Anyways, if this thing closes over 356 today, I'd be looking for a move up to the top of the range here in the $5 for Soluna. If it fails, this could come a little bit lower, but I don't think so. I think we're done selling off on Soluna here. I think this sell-off is likely done. This is a very controlled sell-off here, and it's going to do a move like this. They're going to allow it to pop up to like $4 or $5. Let's see if they let it go higher this time, because this is absolutely like a hedge fund or something churning this thing. Like they're holding it down, accumulating. Look at these very controlled sell-offs, followed by big pop, and then controlled sell-off, little pop, controlled sell-off, like a controlled aggressive sell-off, and then pop for days. Very controlled sell-off, followed by a little pop-up, just to give you a little bit of hope so that they can sell you some more shares, and then very aggressive controlled sell-off. And then once we reach that point, which is back into our box here, we're popping off pretty hard. So I would not be surprised at all to see this thing trading at about $5-6 here within the next week or two. So don't be surprised by that at all if you see it. And also don't be surprised if this aggressive selling channel turns right back on as soon as we hit that $5 range on Soluna. Don't be surprised by that. This is a very small, probably manipulated ticker. So that's why it's a lot of play. And that's why I only have 100 of these things. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? WULF's up 10% as well. So CIFR's up 10%. CIFR's looking, oh, that's a breakout. That's a breakout candle. Look at this. This is a gap up and go kind of scenario here. I would not be surprised to see this come up to $8 here in the next day or two at all. We got this, the fast stochastic ribbon is pointing up. The slow is starting to turn green again. We got average force is up. As long as Bitcoin doesn't roll over, I wouldn't be surprised. We're breaking this right here. We close up anywhere above this line today. And I'd be looking for this thing to, I mean, honestly, and if we stay, okay, if we stay above this ascending channel right here and close up there as well, yeah, I'm looking at the top of the fib, top of the ATR band, which is close to $8 on CIFR. So that's actually pretty good for them, pretty exciting. WULF, what's going on with WULF? WULF also a breakout. That is a breakout. We did a 21 retracement, went right into it, hung out at the 21 for a little bit. Now we're breaking out. We're breaking out beautifully. As long as we stay above, let's say 787. As long as we stay above 787 on WULF today, I would be looking for this to drive higher. And of course, all of this hinges on Bitcoin. All hinges on Bitcoin. Man, I should have held on to the Mara. I broke 30. Oh, well, that's okay. What else is going on? MicroStrategy is at $400 flat right now. That's very exciting, as well as Bitcoin is driving higher once more. Ethereum finally had its day in the sun and broke out there. Broke out, and we're getting another flag looking very familiar there. This could go up to $3,800, even $4,000 off of this flag, assuming it doesn't break down. Doge. I really wanted to get that for 36 cents. I really wanted to get it back down there. I really wanted it down here. Look at it, hit the 786, bounced right off of that. We're hitting the 382. We close over the 382. You can say goodbye to any chance of getting in the 30s again. Right now, we close above that 382, which is currently at 42.7 cents. We are going back up to 48 cents, potentially even 53 cents on Doge. So, Doge, I might be just stuck with my 200 Doge bag. Maybe I'll buy a little bit more if we close over to the 382 and just eat that cost. We'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. XRP is still popping off there. It's up 10% as well. It's almost at $2. XRP has not seen $2 in I don't even know how many years. I used to hold so many of these, and it did nothing and nothing and nothing. It's finally doing a thing, and I'm not in it anymore. Oh well. Oh well, I don't care. Let's see. Yeah, it hasn't been up over $2. Hasn't been over $2 since 2017. It's the last time it went over $2. We need to take out this high though. It needs to take out this high of 190, 190, whatever that is. What is it? Let me zoom in. 196. It's got to get over that. That's the mark of success there. Once it gets over that, we are going to go a lot higher. Once it gets above that, we could go all the way, run for this high back here, which is at 332. That's pretty exciting. Times actually for XRP. Look at that run though, just stacks on stacks. Just look at the body at the top of the candle, all the way next. Body at the top of that candle, all the way up. Body at the top of the candle, all the way up. If we see another one that starts printing a candle like that, yeah, we're going to take out this high in no time on XRP. Better believe that. Let's see. Is there anything else that's of any interest here? No, not really. Nothing I think anybody wants to see. Oh, what about Bonk? Okay, Bonk. If you're not deep in crypto, you probably haven't heard of Bonk. Let's take a look here. Do I want to do the Bitstamp one, or do I want the Coinbase one? I'll do the Coinbase one. All right, perfect. This is the one I've been drawing on. Okay, let's go to the daily. And okay, so average force is getting weaker. This is curling around though. Oh yeah, this is a breakout. Okay, Bonk. So on Bonk, we're looking for today's candle to close anywhere where it currently is. Honestly, anywhere where it currently is would be perfect. And the next one to have a body that kind of opens up, a body that shows up around the area where this other one is ending above it, and see it drive higher, just like Doge and just like XRP, right? Drive it higher, and we could be seeing it coming up to the local high. We take out that local high, and we're going to go higher, obviously. Take out that local high, and we're looking at anywhere up here. Who knows? Let's get a fib. Let's get a fib to see. Go right here. We'll go to that swing right there, and right there. Okay, yeah, we came to 382. We tapped the 5. I would have felt a lot better if it hit the 618. But yeah, we get above that. We go up another. Let's see. I'm going to do percentages because it's just too small a numbers. We're looking at another 27%, potentially another 44% from there. That's pretty exciting. So that's pretty great. Depending on how this thing closes and opens its next candle. I am a little concerned that it didn't come down to the 618 at least, which is all the way down here at 3282, 403, 3282. That concerns me a little bit about Bonk. Makes me feel like that's not as, it might be a fake out potentially. So I'm not in love with that. Versus like Doge, where We had that little swing there, right? Came up, came to the 786 and kept driving higher. Bonk didn't really have that. Bonk didn't really get that second swing, right? I guess you could maybe count it here if you wanted. Count that as a bit of a dip. Well, that would be it right there, wouldn't it? Hit a 618 on that dip, I guess, if you want to really get into it. And if we're counting it there, almost went to the 786. So maybe it just did that bounce a little uglier than I wanted it to, and it actually did hit my levels. We'll see. We'll see. I'm suspicious of this right now, as I am with everything that's on a fever at the moment. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Watch Bitcoin for that potential double top at the $90,000 range. If it gives you that, don't be surprised if you see a trade all the way down to 80, maybe even into the 70s. The miners are very exciting right now. I've been selling into this strength a little bit. Now, I'm not selling like hand over fist or anything, but I'm doing a little bit of selling into this strength, mostly cashing up to get my hands on some more Clean Spark warrants. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio. Don't sleep on that sticker shop. That link is also in the description and channel bio, and have a profitable day.